just only played about a couple of hours so far, but it's certainly faster paced. And so I thought I would just broadcast some of me and strictly for fun. I've only focused on about 2 characters so far. I've main characters. And so I thought what I'd do is just go into the multiverse, go into an endless tower, and just test out some characters. Excuse me. Anyway, so as I said, you can see here that my main character I've been using is Aquaman. There he is, and all his delicious loot there. I've got some good loot so far. And also Supergirl. She's my level 6, my kind of alt, as it were. But there's still a ton of characters I haven't tried. So I think we are going to go for you know what? Let's go for Black Canary. She seems kind of fun.
Black Canary.
Scarecrow first. Okay. I always thought Black Canary's look in the comics was kind of stupid. Because kind of, she always reminds me of Dazzler from the X-Men. Just that kind of power level and that kind of design.
Canary cry.
That's exactly what you don't want.
Begin.
But we'll see what our moves are like. That's cool. Okay, so she's kind of got throw moves. Oh, nasty.
You insured for beatdowns?
Scream in terror.
Don't insult me.
Couldn't win that clash, unfortunately.
This will haunt your dreams.
Okay, I can still do this. We can still beat him up. Well, we won. That's good. Hey, we got gear. You never seem to get gear for the character you're using. I think it would definitely be more useful if you got gear for the characters you were actually using. Oh well.
This isn't you, Kent.
It is the will of Naboo.
Nabu's a real jerk.
Begin.
Dr. Fate, he's not a character I haven't tried. Maybe we should try him next. See how far we get along this tower and then...
Vengeance of Horus.
Okay, so... Oh god, he's draining me with that onk. Okay. Okay, so Black Canary, a little technical, but still quite fun to use.
Got any fight left in you?
So let's try out our super moves, shall we? Almost complete. There, almost complete quarter of bar. That's quite impressive.
Black Canary wins.
So like I said, still lots of characters I want to try out. So we're not just going to stick with Black Canary, we'll actually move on pretty soon. I'm kind of thinking I was going to go until I died and then switch characters.
Mom.
My mother led the League of Assassins.
Too bad she's not here to fight for you.
Begin.
Challenge.
You insured for beatdowns?
Losing control of the character here a bit. I keep wanting to put out punch move and it's not coming out, but I'm sure I'll get there eventually. Okay, this will do it. There we go.
Black Canary wins.
Well, we went up a profile level at least. Not getting much, still not getting much gear yet. I'm not, like I said, I'm not quite sure what governs the gear, because
Combat's
you
all
get a lot
about
of gear
control
characters you're
of
not
conflict.
using, and you don't get it that often.
Destruction.
So either there's something I'm not doing,
There's no other reason
Or-
for you to be here.
Begin.
or it's just the loot system's just a bit stingy at the moment. Maybe it's an online thing.
I'm happy to keep hitting you.
Oh, Jesus! Hell of a super move. Yeah, I will say that's one of the improvements they made over the first game. Is the super moves are far more impressive this time. Well, we got to level 2 at least. I always want to say Chitara when I see Cheetah's name. Just reminds me of the Thundercats. I guess it just proves I'm less familiar with DC than I am with Marvel.
What's on tap today, Minerva?
I have a taste for canary.
You're gonna go home hungry.
Begin.
One of the things I will say that I hope for is I hope for more variety in the gear than I'm currently seeing, because like things like Aquaman, like I've been using Aquaman a lot, and I'd like to see his kind of classic costumes come into play in the gear, and so far I've not seen much that leads me to believe there's a lot of variety, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm only a couple of hours into the game, really. I've not done the story mode yet, so can't comment as to how varied the gear is in terms of style. Bit of an overkill, but still fun.
Black Canary wins.
Oh, gear. Well, that's all good stuff. Yeah, finally some gear for Black Canary.
You want anger? I've got anger.
What fuels your rage?
Being a woman in a man's world.
Begin.
Ooh, pummeling me. This is not good. Come on, you big red bastard. Oh. He hits hard. But we've still got sleep move up the sleeve, so we'll be okay. We can avoid his, I think. Yeah, okay.
Black Canary wins.
Okay, Superman. I really hate Superman. That was the big bane of my life in
The way out of here is through me.
You can't stop me.
Thanks for being stupid enough to try.
Begin.
the big bane of my life in the first game online was Superman players and Green Lantern players who just spammed the kind of with Superman it was you spam the scoop punches and then you blast them, you juggle them, and then with Green Lantern it was the power throws. It's just online. It's just like Superman and Green Lantern in the first game were the equivalent of patterned Kens and patterned Smokes. It's just yeah, I've got this one pattern. I'm gonna spam it. Like fuck you. Like I am not a professional fighting game player. I button mash with the best of them. I am gonna fully admit that in public, archived on YouTube forever. But part of a fighting game should be adaptation, and if all you've got is a pattern that you spam people, you're not adapting. You're not really playing the game. You've just memorized a certain set of moves. You haven't memorized them and then worked out where to use them. You just memorized them. But online play is a story for another time, and not something I'm going to be engaging with just yet. So, we beat Superman, that is. If we die here, then I'm switching to a new character, because that'll put more variety in, and I did. So,
Superman wins.
where do you get that Godfall costume? I've always liked the Godfall costume. Anyway. Well, we got a bronze mother box. Let's try that again with someone new. Tell you what, let's try Dr. Fate. He seemed interesting.
Your cause is noble, Poison Ivy,
The green must be restored.
but your crimes are inexcusable.
Begin.
Vengeance of Horus. Piercing light of Amun-Ra.
Okay, so he reminds me of the Tanner from the first game, because you're kind of just using debuffs and kind of not ranged magic spells, but you're not hitting them either. You know?
Let nature run its course.
Nature's course is chaos.
We will persevere. Actually, you know who Dr. Fate reminds me of? He reminds me of Kotal Khan from Mortal Kombat 10. He has those kind of moves. Kind of debuff and buff yourself.
Dr. Fate wins.
A bit difficult to line up though, not really kind of what I wanted to do. I mean, I get the benefit of buffing and debuffing yourself. It can give you a huge advantage in some areas.
The end
But
is near, Bruce Wayne.
I thought I'd die an old man.
That future is beyond you.
Begin.
yes, yeah, I like the idea of buffing and debuffing yourself, but I'm more of a kind of speed fighter, I guess. I like to do damage in and close distance, and I don't know if Dr. Fate's the right character to do that. I mean, all the basic combos in Injustice seem to have that quality, but some characters more than others, which is why I like Supergirl and Aquaman, because you can kind of use them to close the distance.
Piercing light of Amun Ra.
Okay, Doctor, let's see what your figure move is like. Oh. That's not bad.
Dr. Fate wins.
Well, that's okay. Don't tend to use abilities, so I'm going to continue onward.
Two voices in one mind.
It's like thinking in stereo.
I will silence this cacophony.
Begin.
Vengeance of Horus.
My only knowledge of Firestorm comes from the first season of the Flash TV show, where they introduced him in that universe. It's an interesting concept.
Piercing light of Amun Ra.
That's kind of the problem I have with a lot of DC heroes, is their concepts are super interesting, but the execution's a bit lame. You know what I mean? Like Dr. Fate, ancient Egyptian helmet thing gives you massive powers, but also makes you a different person. So the person wearing the helmet is no longer in control. The helmet is, and I think that's good. That's a cool concept, but it looks lame. Oh god.
Takes two to firestorm.
It's like Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle's the other character I tried before this session, and I knew nothing about Blue Beetle before I looked him up, and so I looked him up and I worked out that he was Blue Beetle applies to about 3 different characters in the DC universe, and
Dr. Fate wins.
all those different versions of Blue Beetle seem cool, but as he comes across here in this game, and presumably in the modern DC Comics context, he just comes across like an wannabe Spider-Man. So I'm not sure what to think about that. But I'm still open to it because, like I've said in many of my actual videos, I'm not opposed to DC or Marvel. I love both. Hence why I'm playing this game. I'm just less knowledgeable about DC.
Such rage I have never seen.
The universe demands my vengeance.
Vengeance augurs chaos.
Begin.
Vengeance of Horus.
Oh, Atrocitus pummeling us again. Obviously one of the hard-hitting characters.
Rage has twisted your fate.
I always thought it was weird how one of the Red Lanterns is just a cat. That has always been strange to me. I mean, I know it's a sentient cat because I've read some Green Lantern comics, but it's still weird.
Dr. Fate wins.
Barry Allen,
Been a long time, Fate.
you should not have returned.
Begin.
I liked Flash in the first Injustice, and I want to get the Reverse Flash skin, which is available in the Real Money store. But I'm not a big fan of microtransactions, so I'm gonna wait until I earn the required real money currency to
Piercing light of Amun Ra.
outrun fate.
Only for so long.
Won't be able to win this. But it doesn't matter because we're still in the lead.
I cast you out. Of Anubis.
Onk. I love that word, onk. Is it ang? I'm never sure.
Dr. Fate wins.
Well, that's another character up a level. I love Scarecrow's intro.
Friend of chaos,
And I am the friend of fear.
and thus my enemy.
Begin.
I will say, even though I'm not 100% interested in playing as Scarecrow, I love his design. Because he only exists as a product of the fear gas. And I love the way he looks. I think that's a really cool idea. Although I'm not 100% sure why Dr. Fate, as a kind of hyperdimensional being, would be affected by fear gas, but there we go.
Vengeance of Horus. Piercing light of Amun Ra.
This will be over soon.
We can do this, come on.
Scared, Doctor?
The Ankh protects me.
Well, we may not be able to finish with the super move, but we can still finish him.
Vengeance of Horus.
Suck it, Crane. One doctor to another. Oh. Oh, God.
Dr. Fate wins.
Yep, let's equip that, why not? Swamp Thing. We should try him out as well. That's such an interesting DC character, Swamp Thing.
Guardian of the Green.
We've no quarrel, servant of order.
You are mistaken, Swamp Thing.
Begin.
Vengeance of Horus.
That's one of the things I don't particularly like about the intros is like, Swamp Thing is right. Like, he doesn't have a quarrel with a servant of order. Swamp Thing is supposed to keep order. They're meant to fight. So he just says, nah, we do have a problem, and they fight.
Piercing light of Amun Ra.
wins.
On to the next one. Superman, you dick. Everybody hates you, you're a dick. That's part of the reason why he's the bad guy in this game, right? Because NetherRealm knows everyone hates Superman.
You're not what you think, Superman.
And what do you think I am?
A threat to all worlds.
Begin.
In the comics, I think Dr. Fate can probably beat Superman because, if I'm correct, I reckon Superman is invulnerable to all damage except magic damage. So, in the comics, I think this would be a rather one-sided fight. Try and bust her up a bit before we unleash the super move, as usual. Oh no, lost it. Oh well. We can still win. I think we're just gonna bounce further off this. Oh no! Oh shit. Well, time to move on to a new character, I guess.
Superman wins.
And no one is happy about that. Well, we got another bronze loot box. You know what, I'll tell you what, before we choose another character, let's go open these loot boxes. See what we get. I've got a lot of gear of Blue Beetle. I think I should probably equip something. Okay. Tell you what, that's what we'll do. We'll customize Blue Beetle and then we'll do an endless tower with him and see how we get on. Because we've got 10 pieces of gear for Blue Beetle. That's an epic piece. Oh. What level do I need to be? Oh god. Can I not equip anything because I've not used him? Oh. Oh man, look. All the more reason. All the more reason